Pleasant good morning. Friday morning here, day 3 of TAPSCon 2024. John Walk, Dan Morgan, Lone Star Christian Sports Network. And we are visiting with Matt Hurst, the brand new head football coach at Live Oak Classical School here in Waco. We kind of corralled him around the corner. I think I kind of caught him off guard. He's like, I'm new here. Nobody should know who I am quite yet. Good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Absolutely. Good to be here.
How much of this, we were talking a little bit. We have all this rhetoric between public and private, and some of it's being exasperated by, what's going on in the governor's mansion, with Governor Abbott and vouchers and everything. But at the same time, we've also heard for a long time, there's a lot of public-private, privates always cheat, and what's your perception on that? I mean, you're making the switch. Product of public schools, played football at Mary Hardin Baylor, Robinson, Moody, Lorena, and now you're into the private school ranks for the first time. What's your general thought process on all that?
Yeah, it's interesting because prior to about 2 months ago, I didn't know much of anything about private schools and kind of how that worked. And so I would say to talk about public versus private, I think there's a lot of unknowns between the two. I don't think – in general, public school coaches, myself included, know much about the private school athletic world, and vice versa. I have found that to be true as well. That there's not a lot of knowledge specific about UIL coaching and stuff in the private schools as well. So it seems like there's a little disconnect or miscommunication maybe between the two. I think that maybe I haven't seen any animosity, but I think maybe they'd be more aligned if they talked more.
Just sat down at the table together.
It's been great. I'm coming over, meeting a bunch of new coaches and that I haven't known before, and even been in maybe similar circles or similar areas, but haven't known them or met them, and been able to do that. Coaches are coaches, and so I think maybe sitting down at a table or having go to THSCA and have everybody there together and have a discussion would be productive, and because I think we all have the same goal in terms of athletics and sports, and specifically in football is to put the best product out there that we can and impact lives while we're doing it.
Sure. You have talk about how this situation developed. Obviously, you had opportunity to be a first-time head coach at Moody. There 2 years, and know nothing about that, but about that situation. But you found yourself in a position, looking for work, and I'm in the professional world right now, so I get that.
Yeah.
So just talk about how the opportunity developed here with Live Oak.
Yeah, that's interesting. So Moody was a really good opportunity for me. I actually wasn't looking for work.
Okay.
I was, perfectly happy at Moody, trying to build a program there, and just doors open. People reached out, and I kind of explored the option, and I was, like I said, I was content with trying to build a program at Moody, but some things happened to open doors here that I really felt like God was calling me to be a part of this, that he had opened doors and kind of closed doors in a way that was drawing me to this, and I feel very confident in that. And so, I have nothing but good things to say about Moody and the kids there. Obviously miss some of them, but this has been a great opportunity as well, and a really different, and seeing a kind of a whole different side of things and a whole new world in terms of coaching and athletics, and already getting to know the kids at Live Oak has been special too. I mean, we got some really great kids and special kids. It's just different, public to private, and I'm learning what all that looks like. But it's been a great experience so far.
Great facilities. I mean, a lot of public schools have great facilities, but I mean, Live Oak is just they're top of the line with what's going on in private school education right now. I mean, that's got to excite you a little bit. I mean,
I think we've been very fortunate with the people that have invested in Live Oak specifically in terms of facilities and wanting to see just the best that we can be in terms of programs and athletics specifically. But all programs, I think, at Live Oak are something that they want to see excel in all kinds of areas, extracurricular, but also, if that's even a word, but also academically. I mean, that's obviously really, really important at Live Oak. And so I think they seek to excel in everything. And so me coming in and be a part of that, I'm just trying to add to that. I'm just trying to be a part of that and try to build something that's special and that excels as part of Live Oak, not separate or not defining of Live Oak, but part of Live Oak Classical School, and build on what Bryce has built in the six-man and coached it before him for the last 15, 20 years. And so this transition from six-man to 11-man, I think, is new and exciting, but it's also we're trying to just carry the torch on to a new age almost of Live Oak football specifically, moving from six-man to 11-man.
I hadn't had a chance to visit with Bryce, and I saw him in February. Went out to the new baseball park, but I understand that they're building a new football facility right there behind where the baseball park's at. Where's that at? I'd heard that maybe that it was going to be ready to go for this year.
Yes, that's the plan. But we keep getting rain, so I think that is it's delayed some, but I think we're still on track.
Okay.
Hopefully, we don't want a completely dry summer, but maybe pulled back a little bit. I don't want to ever pray for not rain, because I know there's a lot of summers where we're praying for rain.
Sure.
So that's been nice from that standpoint. But in terms of construction, it's delayed a little bit. But as of right now, we're still on track. We actually, our scrimmages and first two games are all away, and so Bryce made that schedule, 8-9 months ago with that in mind. And so our first home game, I think, is September 13th. And so that's the same for junior high as well. And so I'm told that August, maybe mid-August, would be a finish point. And so that gives about a month wiggle room. So I think we're going to be good, and we're on track right now. But, yeah, it's just behind left field in the new baseball where the new baseball stadium is, just behind left field, running the same direction, going from home plate to outfield.
Okay.
The field will run that same direction.
Got it. Yeah, no, I was out there probably in April for a ball game, and
Well, Coach, you guys got a lot to live up to, because I know you've probably seen the video of the extra point that goes through the window of the car. As they're driving down the field, so you're gonna have to figure
it went
out
viral. I don't know
to outdo that. So you even made MTV. So
that was pretty crazy. That was.
I think it's going to be, you take a look at the schedule a little bit, and I know you're still in a, education mode, learning about.
No doubt.
Learning about, schools and that, but, I mean, you've got, you're going to open up against Covenant, six-man state champion. They're moving to 11-man, strong program. Hill Country Christian, also another, like Live Oak and Covenant, another traditionally strong six-man program. Haven't won state championships, but they've been competitive. Central Texas is always a good rival. Your district, you got Powerhouse there in First Baptist. You're always smiling about that one.
It's gonna be. I've heard about First Baptist a lot. It's funny when you're in UIL, you hear about the Litos and the Allens, and then like at our level, more like the Franklins and Marts and stuff like that. But coming into private school, I don't know anything about anybody.
That's what we do.
and so I hear First. As soon as I come over, First Baptist, really, really good. And so a lot of talent. Obviously, they were really, really good last year, and didn't have a lot of close games. And so that's going to be obviously a challenge. But I don't look at it as like individually that individual team as much as like we're going to play each individual team. We got 10 games across the schedule, and so they're certainly one of them. But I'm not really concerned with like trying to figure that out right now. Our scrimmages and getting that installed, all our system installed and implemented the first few weeks, and then going into Covenant Christian the first week of the season. That's kind of where I'm at. as we get into the season, those things will take care of themselves, game planning and prepping for all the different teams that come up, because all of them will be a challenge, not the least of which will be First Baptist.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys look to do? I mean, offensively and defensively. What is your, what are your mindsets, and what are the things that you've done that you've been successful with as an assistant coach and as a head coach, and evaluating the personnel there at Live Oak? What do you look to do, on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I think philosophically, if you're at a, in public school talk, 5A, 6A, if you're at the South Lakes or something like that. It's kind of the college mentality where you have a system and those guys got to fit in the system, and you got to find the guys that fit there. And if they don't, then you find somebody else.
Right.
But what I found, Lorena is a little bit different. Robinson, that level, there's still a little bit of that. But going down to Moody and then now this size school, Moody's very similar in size to what Live Oak is. And to me, we can't do that. We can't afford to say, hey, this is what we're doing.
Sure.
And then, this year we don't have that.
Right.
What do we do? So my mindset is trying to – we obviously have a base and a skeleton, but trying to figure out what our kids are good at and put them in a position to succeed. I don't look at it from the standpoint of what do we not have, but I'm trying to find out what do we have.
Sure.
And what can we be successful at, and let's plug them into that. And so, I mean, I've always been an even front guy defensively. I'm primarily a defensive coach in terms of my coaching history, but I've obviously coached both. I called offense the last couple of years at Moody, and so offensively, I would just say we're going to be very multiple. Probably have more formations than what the average team at this high school has in public school. Now I don't know enough about private school to really speak to that, but we'll be pretty diverse formationally, personnel-wise. And then from there, it's like, what can we do? And like I said, I've already gotten to know some of the kids and been around them. And we do have some really talented kids, I feel like. But it's figuring out what can they do on a football field, on an 11-man football field. I think they're still getting used to the extra space, you know. And but at the same time, there's a lot more bodies in the box, so that's an adjustment too. So I know that's kind of a non-answer, but but we'll be very multiple. We're going to be pretty balanced offensively, and it'll skew more towards, hey, are we better at throwing it, and we'll throw it a little more if we're better at running it. And that's going to depend on the development of the offensive line, which is obviously new. You have a little bit of that in 6-man, but not to the same level or degree. I was watching some film from last year at home at my kitchen table, and I have a 6-year-old. I have actually a 2, 4, 6, and 8-year-old. It's like a cheer, 2, 4, 6, 8. But my 6-year-old walked up. I was watching, and he said, "They don't have enough people on the line. Where's all the people?" I was like, "This is 6-man football."
That's
so,
great.
So yeah, there's a few people missing from what you're used to seeing. So yeah.
Coach, I know Conroe Covenant was able to play 11-man at the sub-varsity level last
Yes,
year.
yeah.
Were you guys able to do that?
No,
So
no.
they played 6-man.
Yeah, so it's all new, and that's interesting. Pretty good strategy from them, forward thinking. I think at Live Oak, as I understand, this happened pretty quickly. I think they were looking to it maybe at the next realignment, but things just kind of worked out in a way that it made sense to go ahead and do it. And so, I think that's obviously an advantage for Covenant. I mean, that's going to be helpful for their program and their kids. So
you guys have a lot of offensive line work to do then.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. O-line, D-line play is going to be a lot different, especially like inside. They have ends in 6-man, and so they're kind of used to rushing. But all the techniques of a defensive lineman are going to be not all of them, but a lot of them will be new, and then offensive line play. A lot of that will be new as well, obviously.
Can't go downfield. Guys.
No, the center can't catch a pass unless we throw it backwards to him, which would be interesting in 11-man.
Well, I think it's going to be an exciting season for you. Obviously, I mean, new beginnings are always exciting, but still, again, just the way the schedule's lined out, we may see you that week one. You're going down there to Allen Academy to play that game against Conroe Covenant. We've broadcast some games down there. We're really good friends with Coach Adams, and so it just depends on. Dan's at Milby and in Houston. So
my dad's a Milby. Well, he didn't graduate there. He went there through his junior year. Born in Pasadena, grew up in Houston his whole life, and went there. My aunt and 2 uncles graduated from there, and family, and they actually moved senior year to Mahia, bought land and stuff. But yeah, Milby, Buffaloes, right?
That's crazy, yeah. Lost for life.
So we may see you there, and then of course, you got lined up. The way the district schedule lined up. Having Bishop Riker there at the end. I mean, that has the potential to really be big here in the Waco area.
Yeah, and it's a Thursday game, so that'll be interesting at Riker. And I mean, like I said, I don't know a lot, but I would think that could potentially be a rivalry game at some point. I know they haven't played at the same level, 6-man, 11-man. But I think as the years go on, I think it could be a healthy rivalry for Waco, for private school Waco.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, again, we've been visiting with Matt Hurst, the brand new head football coach at Live Oak Classical School. Matt, best wishes on the upcoming season, and like I said, we'll hopefully get to see you in week one.
Yeah,
Thank you again
absolutely.
for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.